This is the Slate Podcast, episode 32, take one, and Slate.
Soy un bandolero donde voy. Le doy gracias a Dios por hoy estar donde estoy. Y voy a seguir con mi tumbao.
Welcome to the Slate Podcast, the podcast where we talk about music, movies, and family. I'm George M. Gonzalez, and I'm here with Jeff.
Your boy.
Your boy. And we are here to talk about the hypest movie of the year.
The family.
The best thing to come out of Universal. We're talking about Fast X, rated PG-13.
Actually, the G is for family, but the G is silent.
There's a G? There's a G?
No, that was a stupid joke.
What? I didn't say that right. So me and Jeff watched Fast X, and Dario said hell no to that, and he's literally not here for this.
Dario said, "Nah, fam, I don't care about family. I don't care about you guys. I'm not gonna watch this." So
yeah, I'm not part of the family, said Dario.
Dario said it. Dario said it.
You said it, right, Dario? Absolutely, that's him. So we out here, but it's just me and Jeff today. And we're here to talk about the Fast X, the latest installment of the Fast and Furious franchise. And we're going to give you our thoughts, our prayers, and just our whole entitled opinion on this movie as a whole. And probably the franchise as a whole, too.
Yep.
So I guess spoiler alert if you haven't seen any of the movies or this movie. But yeah, we'll kick it off here. Jeff? Tell me, just in general, what do you think? Oh, also, I guess what the movie's about too, right?
Are we going to spoilers right away or no?
Yeah, we might as well. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank the studios for finally coming together and giving us the DC and Fast and Furious crossover that we never knew we would get, George. It was so great seeing the Joker finally come head to head with Don Toretto. It was amazing. I love this. This is my Joker. Okay?
For sure. But I thought you were gonna say Aquaman because it's a
yeah. He was the Joker pretty much.
Yeah,
in this movie.
Yeah, freaking Jason Momoa is the Joker to Vin Diesel's Dom's Batman. And basically Dante, who is played by Jason Momoa, is after our Fast family for personal reasons. Basically, Dom killed his dad back in Fast 5, which was one of the best, if not the best, Fast and Furious movie.
Let me ask you real quick. That was the one they showed us that's when they steal the vaults. But is that also the one where Don Omar and what's his name? Tego Calderon? Is that the one where they're in it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then that's by far the best one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's funny. I watched because I saw the trailers and I was like, oh, they're referencing 5. I watched 5.
Yeah.
And I watched a little bit of 9 because I know some stuff was referenced too. But yeah, it's just if I can summarize it, it's stupid fun. It's stupid fun.
Yeah. And man, it's hard to be mad at this movie and like talk negative because in a way these movies have been part of our lives. You know, like we grew up with these movies. They've been around since like what, 2003, 2002?
Yeah. No, 2001.
2001. So pretty much I still have a memory of watching like the very first one, you know, like on TV when I was really small. So it's kind of hard to be mad at this movie, man. But also it's like, I wish it was more. And we'll get into it. But in the end, I guess it's like you said, it's just stupid fun.
Yeah, I brought someone with me because I don't like watching movies by myself.
I watched it by myself.
Okay. Well, I forced someone to come see it with me. And I fed her, too, just to make up for it.
Yeah.
But she Crystal, my friend, she said it was dumb as hell, but at the same time she loved it, and I was on the same boat. I was like, I was like, yeah, it's super self-aware. It's very conscious of what it's become. And I think that started happening around 9 or 8. They were like, okay, this is what people think of us. Let's just embrace it, which I think is kind of I don't think that was the best way to go, but hey, I mean, they went all out for it in 9 and 10. And like I said, stupid fun. The thing is, John Wick is stupid fun also, but it's done right.
It's stupid fun. It's funny that you mentioned John Wick because that's what I was thinking on my drive home. Exactly. So people might say, oh, it's just action, so don't think about it too much, or just it's fun. But then my first thought was, as I was literally driving, I was like, what set John Wick 4, bro? Possibly one of the best action movies I've ever seen. And it's not supposed to be this smart intellectual movie. No, it's fun.
No, it has a good story.
So what set a John, and I hate to make comparisons, but what sets a John Wick 4 different from this movie? When they're both action movies, they both have big scenes, but John Wick is just so much better. And I guess it's just done right,
I guess this topic has been coming up a lot lately, especially with what's going on in the industry now. Writing, basically.
Writing. You mean writing? It's not just your subjective opinion.
No, it's objectively writing and directing.
You're dumb. You're dumb for thinking that.
If y'all wanna, just see what the real people think about writing, go to Jeff's other channel and see what happens there. But people have opinions. But no, I think I put it well yesterday. This movie and the last movie feel like draft 1 of a script, right? And then they just went with it. They just went with it. And I say that because throughout the movie, there's these cringe lines and there's this cringe dialogue
my gosh,
at the beginning and the editing somewhat. And I see it. I'm like, this is supposed to be a moment, or this is supposed to, and I'm like, this could have been better if it just marinated a little bit in the writer's room, or the acting.
I always hear you and Dario like pick out those moments. I can never really. Sometimes I can't tell. I'm starting to become more critical as we do these podcasts, but I like never before. I noticed what you just said about the dialogue. I noticed, and I'll tell you in a minute what it was. But I think for the first time ever watching a movie, it went through my head as I'm watching. I'm like, I think she just read that off the screen in front of her.
Yeah.
And the scene that I'm talking about is when Brie Larson is talking to the guy. You know what I'm talking about?
The new cop?
When they first meet, in that office. And that, it felt so unnatural. Like, I think what went through my head was like, real people wouldn't talk like this.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I don't know, bro. Like, it was so weird.
So the scene that Brie Larson character Tess, she meets the cop guy for the first time with all the screens around him. Yeah. So that's in a promo, and I thought that was just a promo. Like, I thought it was just like hyping up the movie. And I saw it was in the movie, and I was like, wait a minute, this feels like a commercial. Oh man, I'm thinking of mostly at the beginning, where they have like the barbecue and they're saying all these like one-liners, and even Han's supposed to have a moment, and it's not even like settled well. It matters when when they say nothing, when you have a good performance and somebody's like, "What's wrong, Han?" And if he just didn't instantly respond and just say his lines, if he just like sat there and just
subtext,
said,
you're talking about
subtext, and also like acting with your face, like just little things like that make it a long way. I think that was a lot in the beginning. And then there was that line where he was like, I laughed in the theater. He was like, "Don't worry, I got this." And then she was like, "No, we got this." And I was like, damn it.
I think the line that made me cringe the most in my chair was the game recognizes game. Like, what?
Yes, dude.
What is this? 05?
She was sitting next to me like, ugh. Like,
Game recognizes game.
Game recognizes game. She's like so much taller than her. Now the thing with this is like,
and I guess real quick, let's just dump all our negatives right now. This is what we're doing, and then we get to the positives.
I do have positives about this.
Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
No, well, I was gonna say the action obviously is, they keep upping the ante for every movie. I think it would benefit from not. I don't know what the right words for it is. Not being so self-aware that they do something to where it's like obviously everybody in the theater is reacting like, oh, and I'm like, well, why are you here? But
yeah.
At the same time, what is it? This is kind of a positive too. Every time Dom was about to do some superhero shit, I was like, yeah. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? And like he drove off the thing and hit the crane, and it turned and hit the bomb. I was like, yes.
I was laughing the whole time during that sequence because it's just so comedic to see him stop. Think about it. Mm-hmm. When they were writing that, he's gonna stop a bomb with his car.
Yes. Any problem in this movie? Solved by a car. That's absolutely.
I was laughing the whole time, dude. It was great.
Think they introduced a lot of new characters, and
yes.
I think that it gets inflated because there's so many people to introduce, and we're trying to develop who we have, but at the same time, not everybody's being. I don't even think there's a lot of development here. I think it's just like we have Brie Larson, we have the new cop guy, Alan Richardson, we have Jason Momoa, we have we get Shaw back, Jason Statham.
Oh yeah.
Which also he's in the movie, they fight, and then he's gone.
Yeah, he was just gone.
He's in the trailer. I'm like, oh, he was in the post-credit scene from the last one.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. In 9, he was in the post-credit scene. So they extend the scene in this one, and it's just a fight scene, and then he leaves. And I'm like, damn it. That's not what you did. So all in all, I'm saying all that because they do have ideas. They have even good ideas. But none of them sat to marinate. And I think the reason, I know you know this, that they switched directors at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Lin, he has directed a lot of the Fast and Furious movies, right? Even some of the good ones. And I guess for personal reasons or something, but they switched out in the beginning of production.
Right? I remember that because some of you, if you watch this, you probably know the Weekly Planet. That's right. They were covering that story where there's even a clip of Vin Diesel making a video with him, and you just see the disappointment in that guy's face. He didn't want to be there. So, and I was gonna ask you about that. So, do you think this was the same movie that what was his name? Lin?
Justin Lin.
You think this was the same movie that Justin Lin was asked to direct? Or and that's why it was not good to him, so he left? Or do you think that was a different movie, and when he left, Vin Diesel went in there and just changed the movie, and it made it worse?
From everything I was following about the movie, give or take, and seeing because Vin Diesel will hype up Fast and Furious, this is his baby. we love it. We love that for him. So
I'm gonna put the clip here. I'll put the clip in there.
Is it fair to say that this will be the best one?
In my heart, yes.
What a cringe, bro. You can all cringe with us. with everything I was following, even with that clip, and like a lot of behind the scenes that they were showing while they were filming, I think it was the same movie, but he wanted to go in a different, like writing concept wise, writing wise, on paper, it was the same movie, you know. But I think he probably wanted to. This is just a theory. He wanted to present it differently. He probably wanted to do it probably better, even right in the right way, you know. But I think Vin Diesel just kind of wanted to churn it out and say the fans want this, you know, and let's just give them this. Let's go crazy with this, you know. Let's chop it up and blah blah. You know, I'm sure there was like a creative difference there because he's an executive producer of Vin Diesel, so he has say, and then I'm sure like they didn't come to a real agreement. Maybe they did, but then he was just like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. And he just left. So they found, you know, a new director, and yeah, which suffers. Like any movie that happens to suffers big time.
Yeah. And we'll get to the positives for sure, but and I guess maybe I'll finish my negatives with this. Is that to me, and I really thought of this because I also don't want to fall trap to the cool thing to say, and I feel like the cool thing to say is that Fast and Furious is not good, that it's dead. Oh look, you're making fun of the family meme.
I think another cool thing to say is, oh, this used to be about racing, and
I hear that. You see that all the time.
Saving the world.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a fair argument because you can't make 10 movies about just racing. Even
you
if
gotta switch it up. You gotta switch it up.
Switch it up, and you know, just make it more interesting. I think all the way up to 7 are the good ones. Give or take Tokyo.
And that's not even a good argument, bro, because you can do ridiculous things. Again, to go back to John Wick.
Right.
In John Wick, they have freaking suits that can take bullets. Tell me that's not ridiculous. But
that's crazy, but we love it. We love seeing it.
But we didn't pick on like this. Right, yeah. But we didn't pick on it because those movies are done right. So I don't think that the argument that, oh, they're just getting ridiculous, I don't think that's a good argument. But just to finish my negatives, I think, and I thought about this in the car while I was driving home. So this is the 10th movie, right? This is sort of like the culmination of everything. This was supposed to feel special. This was supposed to feel big, memorable. I think my biggest issue is that it didn't feel memorable. It didn't feel special. I can't. Walking out of John Wick 4, I was hyped. There were memorable moments, lines that we quote. Walking out of this, I was like, oh, I guess The Rock is back. Okay. There's no memorable moments in this movie. And I feel like that is so bad because this is supposed to be the 10th movie. We're almost done with the franchise. This was supposed to feel big. And it just didn't, you know?
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think you're right, because 9 felt like they were trying to just churn it out in order to get to 10. You know what I mean? And I heard that on the Week of the Planet too, and it feels like that. And I think that they're thinking the positives outweigh the negatives, so they just stick with the whole staying ridiculous and one-liners and everything.
And again, you see that in John Wick, and that's not an issue.
No, right? It's writing, bro. It's writing and acting. But yeah, I totally agree. All in all, try again. I actually wish they went this route. So 7, they said bye to Paul Walker, right?
Yeah.
And then R.I.P. But they obviously wanted to do more. I was thinking ended at 10 and like 8, 9, and 10, a trilogy. I thought that's where we were going because I saw 8, and I don't actually think 8 is that bad. I think what would have made 8 better is like a rematch between The Rock and Vin Diesel. That would have been like awesome. But they introduced this villain, Cypher, right? The Charlize Theron's character.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And she escapes at the end. And I'm like, all right. So she's the villain for like the next 2 movies, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to 9, and you're like, oh, John Cena's the villain, but Cypher's in the side a little bit. And you get to this one, oh, Cypher's here, but she's a bad guy, but she needs help. I'm like, they go to every movie and they're like, here's a new idea. I'm like, well, hold on, let's stick with what we got, it's very inflated. Yeah. Anyways, that's my negatives on that.
Yeah. So let's do. There were positives in this, right?
Yeah, The Rock's back, bro. The Rock.
We'll get to that, and we'll get to the end of this movie, which I have questions. I'm confused. I'm hella confused. But
so the action, like I said, my first positive was like every time Vin Diesel did something or was about to do something, I could see it. I could see it like building up, and I'm like, whoa, what's the crazy thing he's gonna do? And didn't disappoint on that level. Every time he did something, I was like, let's go, Captain America out here. What else? The action is good if you don't. That's stupid to say. If you don't think about it, it's fun to watch. Yeah, all the car stuff. There's a lot of problem solved with cars only, and there's that. I want to add a brownie point to Vin Diesel for. I still, this is off topic, but I still think he would be a good Kratos for God of War series. And the reason I say that is for other movies I've seen him in. But in this movie, he sits down and he's with the bad guy, or he's with Cypher. He's like, talk. And I was like, yeah, I see it. I see it.
He's got the voice for sure.
He's got the voice and the bald head.
Yeah. Man.
What do you think?
I agree with all that. I think my main positive really is Momoa. That guy made the movie for me. Like, I was thinking about it. If Jason Momoa was just another villain that's always serious and has no charisma, it's just another villain, this movie would have sucked for me, man. But Jason Momoa saved it for me because every time he was on screen, bro, I was having a good time. And you can tell he was having a good time. And
absolutely.
Everything from the way he talks, the freaking outfits. My boy was fresh in this movie, bro. Yo, those outfits, bro. those
that
outfits.
boy was mad fresh, hot, flamboyant as hell. There's this
love it, bro.
There's a shot where he gets off this little tower, which also, by the way, every scene he's in, he's on a tower, and he's like, "Dom, I'm here, Dommy boy." I mean, so wild. But he gets down and he does this little like ballet thing.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good, bro.
I was dying. You're right. He did save the movie. Definitely, he carried this movie on his back. Straight
up, like I enjoyed him more than when Vin Diesel was having his moments. Like, I was like, no, I want to watch him. He's fun, you know. Like he's like sassy. This is a little bit off topic, but right now in the comics, and I promise it connects. But right now in the comics, Mr. Sinister has been one of the main characters. He's a villain, an X-Men villain.
Oh, I know. This,
And recently, a few years ago, the character in the comics wasn't like, he's sassy. He acts like Jason Momoa, and it wasn't always like that. He used to be like a serious character, but now he's like this sassy character, funny, always making jokes. While I was watching this movie, I was literally like, that's Sinister. If they do Sinister in the MCU, I want Jason Momoa and I want him to be Sinister because that's literally the Sinister that's in the comics right now. And people are making the Joker comparison, but he reminded me a lot of Mr. Sinister. And I was like, yes, bro, that would be fun.
Nice.
But Jason Momoa was great, man.
Yeah, he was. He was the highlight. I wanted to ask too. So there's this thing that kind of bugs me sometimes, where, especially with Marvel, why does something have to be funny or weird to be good? And I think I know the answer to my own question in this movie because everybody's like serious and they're doing their typical thing, but then you add Jason Momoa and he's just all over the place. He's making it his own, and that adds dynamic to a movie like this. And that's what people like is the seasoning, the whole, like, what do they want to walk? Everybody walks away from this movie like, this is weird. This is a weird movie, but Jason Momoa, I loved him.
Yeah.
I only hear good things about him.
So what was the question?
Well, I guess why do things have to be comedic and weird and funny for something to be good? I guess
when everybody else is serious.
Yeah, because then we have movies like The Batman where everything's like serious. There might be little light jokes here and there, but it's all serious. But that's still a good movie,
right?
Or John Wick as well. I guess. What is the formula there? What's going? I guess people like to laugh. Maybe I knew that, but
yeah, man, I don't know. I was just really glad though. Like, I wonder if that was even something that Jason Momoa brought to the table that wasn't there at first. I wonder if he was just meant to be just a angry villain, and then he was like, no, let's do this. Because if that was the case, or if they changed it midway, I'm like, great, man. Because again, for me, this is what saved the movie. It's not that I didn't enjoy the other characters, but every time he was on screen, I was just like, let's go, man.
Yeah,
he was a menace.
Yeah, whole menace. He was playing with dead people with the tape in their
that
eyes,
was wild. That was wild.
That was. It's like, what is happening? He has a whole scene dedicated to just him being weird.
Yeah.
He's unhinged. If there's a personification of unhinged, that's him. He don't look like Aquaman. He's not appealing at all. At all. There's a scene he kills somebody and then he like licks the knife like a lot.
I know. Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But that sets him up. And I think he has a great setup too. Obviously, there's the whole cliche of like, "Oh, you killed my dad, I'm coming back for you," but it's done like you said. It's done well, and it's actually referenced like, "Oh, he was in psych wards throughout life, and his dad always took him out," and things like that. So it kind of like we know who this guy is, and we know it's a simple thing, but he made it his own.
And I like how they did that. They showed us the movie, the flashback, and from his perspective, that was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that.
It was him and John Cena that I really liked in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's funny because John Cena in the last movie, he's the bad guy, so he's more serious, and he's like, I'm coming to get revenge on my brother. This and that. Dom's his brother, by the way, guys.
Right.
Do you believe that, Jeff? Dom's
no. Also, wait, real quick. I also don't believe, and the Weekly Planet highlighted this, that Vin Diesel was like, yeah, that's grandma. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
That's not, you're old enough that could be your mother.
I was about to say, like, is that his mom or is that?
No, he was like, abuela. Abuela's gonna bring those maduros, you know? That, and you know what else? I don't know what's more not believable. The fact that this guy stopped a bomb with his car, or the fact that we have to believe that this brown kid is his son. What's going on with this? That looks like The Rock's son. That's Dwayne Johnson's son. Bro, that's a little Samoan kid, bro.
Yeah. So
what is going on with this?
I was so confused because in the last movie, that kid is light skin as hell.
And the mom is white. You know who the mom is? It's Chris Hemsworth's wife.
Elsa, whatever.
Yeah.
She plays. I forgot her name, but
she's a white blonde chick with green or blue eyes. Mm-hmm. Vin Diesel is Caucasian. So what? What? Who's baby?
Well-
Yo, this is Tyrese. This is Tyrese's son, bro. This is Tyrese. I think that's gonna be the twist, bro. This is Tyrese or the Rocks.
The next movie, Tyrese Roman, he's the villain because he's like, you took my son from me.
Who
I'm gonna kick your ass.
who set this up? Like, let's bring this kid. If you look at pictures of The Rock when he was a kid, that's him. This kid literally looks like The Rock when he was young.
He does. And he has like maybe Vin Diesel had curly hair, but he has like curly hair that stands straight up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's a
like,
Samoan
what?
kid. I bet you that's a Samoan kid.
That's funny, bro.
Bro, whose idea was that? That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, that's Dwayne Johnson's son, bro. That's gonna be the twist. I'm telling you, bro.
That's my boy. You took him, you son bitch.
Son bitch.
Son bitch. What was I saying? But
Sorry,
we'll get to the Rock in a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, John Cena has a whole arc with his son because he goes to save his son from the agency, from betraying them and blah blah blah. So he takes his son, and Mia goes off to her little. She goes off like she's out of the movie for a second. They go on this little adventure, him and his son, and he plays more like John Cena, like himself. And that's what my friend was saying, that she loves everything John Cena did in this movie. Was like adorable and quirky. He's like bubbly.
I like
himself. Yeah, and I thought that was like I leaned over and I was like, if there was just a movie about them two, like the son and John Cena, I'd love it. I think it'd be great.
He was great. I think the way he died was stupid because he didn't have to die.
Yeah, I feel like he could have turned the car a little bit and then just shot the cannons.
He could have jumped out of the car.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
yeah,
He didn't have to die.
He didn't have to die. He met his brother again for like 5 seconds, and he's like, "Man, F this noise.
I'm out, man.
I'm out. Peace."
Y'all are tripping.
Y'all wild out here. I'm killing myself. R.I.P.
Hey.
He's in the car, upside down. I'm out. No, but I liked him. And what was I gonna say? I guess we could talk about the ending, the ending parts.
Yes.
Sorry. To backtrack a little bit, Letty has a fight with Cypher, right? And that's another thing about the writing is like I know they're trying to set up like Letty versus Cypher, the bad guy, like the girls duking it out. It just felt like they just wanted to have a fight. It wasn't like really built up. They just ended up in the room together, and then she even like beats her and escapes, and then comes back, and then they're working together again. And I was like, that fight was just to be a fight between them two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had to say about that. But
also, Pete Davidson, funny.
Oh,
that was great.
He showed up. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I loved him in that. Yeah.
He's
like, you're costing me thousands of dollars in damage.
He said a joke off screen that I died laughing. He was like, "Bro, I think you hit the printer so hard it works."
Yeah. He was great.
Good to see him.
Yeah.
But anyways, the ending. So Dom gets his son back, and shenanigans ensue because he's like, drop me out of this damn plane right now. Oh, no problem. Woo! Does it, and then he my favorite part of this movie, he gets caught by these helicopters, and he's like fighting it. He's fighting it with his car. And then he hits the NOS. They crash, and he's dragging them, and he's dual wielding them like Kratos from God of War with his car. I was like,
I was just laughing. At that point, I was just laughing, bro.
This is great. He turns and he tells his son, "Hey, jump out of the car." Basically, is what he tells.
Yeah.
And he does, and he catches him, and he not, all that stuff. And then he jumps off a dam, which also the cop guy betrays him and like shoots down the plane that his family was in, and then the plane crashes, seemingly killing all of them that were in.
They're not dead.
I don't think they're dead.
Apparently, nobody dies in this freaking universe.
So John Cena's coming back for sure.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. But if the next movie happens and they start off like dead, kudos to them. Kudos to them for that. So yeah, that happens, and then he saves his son. He jumps off the Hoover Dam, and he jumps into the water, which is probably the least craziest thing that's happened in this movie. And then it leaves on a cliffhanger. Wanting more fast.
They went for the Infinity War type.
Yeah. This is Infinity War for the Fast and Furious franchise.
Only that Infinity War actually is good, and the cliffhanger hits you. It was like literally no joke. I know that they thought this cliffhanger is gonna hit people. Like, oh my god! Literally, when we cut to black, I was like, wasn't Wonder Woman dead?
Oh yeah, she's
like, that was me in the theater. Wasn't she dead?
We saw her fly out of a plane. So
I was like, George,
what the hell? What the hell's happening here? So
please explain, please, because I'm confused.
So Fast 6, apparently nobody died in that movie, right? Nobody important. Do you remember Fast 6, by the way?
Fast 6, is that the one where they go to Dubai?
No, that's 7.
Crap.
6 is the one with the flip car. Like they would have a ramp. They went to Europe, right? And it was Shaw's brother that was the bad guy. And they basically had a team, like an anti-theme.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not the most memorable one. It's not bad. But at the end of Fast 6, Shaw, Owen Shaw, he gets launched out of a car, out of a plane, onto the roadway, right? And he didn't die. He's in 7 and 8, right? Well, he's like in a hospital in 7, and then 8 he shows up again as a good guy. And then Giselle, who's played by Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, she saves Han.
Yeah.
And then falls off the car into the darkness of this long runway.
Should be dead. Should be dead.
100%. 100%. And then even Han has a moment where he's sad and he beats up the bad guy. And I remember that fully. So then she shows up at the end of this unscathed, super, gorgeous as she is.
And it's so not special. Maybe that was supposed to feel special. Oh my God, it's her. But the whole sequence just felt random and she's in a submarine. What?
She has the same significance in this movie that Wonder Woman had in Shazam 2. I don't know if you've seen Shazam 2.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
So at the end do you care? Spoilers?
I don't care.
Okay, so yeah, it's a stupid movie too. Shazam 2, Wonder Woman shows up at the end to save Shazam because he apparently died. Right?
Okay.
And she was literally, what was it? It was oh man, he's dead. And then she just shows up well, you need the power of a god to help you. And she's just standing there with her chest out like this. And I was like, man, where the hell did you come from? What the hell? So that's basically the same thing that happened here.
I was so confused. I was like, what is she doing here?
we see her die. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Well, they were thinking it's a big moment, but she should have been dead.
It didn't hit. I tell you, it didn't hit.
It
sucks.
It hit me in the confusion. That's where it hit me.
That's where it hit me. Yeah.
Right in the balls. That's right.
So yeah, that I guess that kind of ruined the end of the movie for me because I was like, wow, okay, I guess.
Mhm.
But
And
then
then
we had one
credits
after
roll.
credit scene. Yeah.
Yes, one after credit scene. Basically,
And can I just add,
yeah.
this got spoiled for me.
The Rock.
I knew about this because apparently, or it's my fault for listening to podcasts. I guess I can't even listen to a podcast anymore. But the people, and I forget whose podcast I was watching. It was probably John Campia. I don't know. But apparently, one of these people that get to watch the movies early, I think it was like at the premiere, and one of these companies like Variety, they reported that The Rock was in it, and it's like, why would you spoil that?
That's oh boy.
So I heard about that, and then I already knew. I just stayed just to watch it, anyways. But yeah,
So it wasn't spoiled in the same way. Instagram shows everything. I saw, The Rock is reportedly coming back to Fast and Furious, and I was like, oh, dope. He's like one of the best parts.
yeah.
And then it was this, and I kind of could tell from how the scene was going and how this man is built because he was masked.
Oh, dude,
I was like, yeah.
That's
There's only one person that looks like that.
Who could that be?
Who could that be? Big ass boy. And you know what? He's rocking that gray goatee. He has a gray goatee.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, that's his. He says his famous line, "Some bitch." And he crushes a phone in his hand, and I'm like, well, can't wait to see that. I guess
It's not. I don't know. Like, what made this that interesting is the fact that we know what's going on in real life. And I just want to know how big. Sorry, I want to know how big.
You wanna know how big?
No.
Yes, sir. Jeff, I'll pull it up right now. Let's see.
Leak. No,
Yeah.
I want to know how big that check was, that number that Vin Diesel wrote on that napkin as they were having lunch. Because, as we know, Vin Diesel publicly invited him to the movie. The Rock said nah.
Oh yeah.
Because because Vin Diesel was weird. He was even calling him like little bro or something.
Yeah, he was like, the fans wanted, come back to fulfill
something like that. And then he said little bro.
Yeah.
And that was weird. And then The Rock came back and was like, bro, stop it. So I wonder if they like had lunch or something to talk. And Vin Diesel wrote a number on a napkin and passed it to him. That must be a big number.
Big number.
Because it worked.
You know what? I think they probably even promised him, like, we'll do what we did in Fast 8. Well, you'll be in the movie, but you won't be in the same scenes as Vin Diesel and stuff like that, which kind of made the movie a little weird for me. Maybe that even helped too, because, I'm sure he liked being in it, but Vin Diesel was the antagonist there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is weird. But hey, something worked. He came back.
Yeah, so apparently the next one is going to be something happening to Vin Diesel, his son, some members of the crew maybe dead. The Rock comes back. Gal Gadot is back. Here's a question. Do they bring back Brian?
So, all right. So to end this on a high note, I actually wrote some notes to make the next movie. So I'm just gonna throw little pitches here and there, and then you tell me if this sounds a little appealing. All right.
All right.
It's not much. All right. So at the beginning, the inciting incident would be Dante uses God's eye, the little device that everybody's passing around, for that sort of thing. He uses God's eye to send a hit out on, which is kind of what happened in this movie too, but it's a continuation. So he sends a hit out on each member of the Fast family, right? So with that, Dom now has a son So they should go on like a father-son sort of adventure in a way, like on their own arc. And then they get to but without his car, which is a dope line in this movie, by the way. He's like, "You didn't take my car," and
I'll give him that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "You didn't? You sure didn't?" And now,
That was a damn mistake. I'll tell you that much.
You dumb bitch. Good job. Yeah, one job. So Dom and his son go on an adventure, but without his car, and they have to use his like mechanic know-how to get around and survive. But they get cornered, and then the person who saves them is Brian. Played by his brother, obviously.
His brother, yeah.
Yeah. And then on the other side of things, because everybody's obviously like separated, so Cypher and Giselle are actually teaming up. Like Giselle's bad, and then they're holding Letty prisoner in the submarine, and then Letty has to get in touch with Ramsey somehow, but Ramsey is the only one that survived the plane crash, so I have like an emotional moment with Tej, or what's his name? Yeah, Tej and Roman. They're like dying, saying last words, and maybe they even save her. But she survives, and she has to leave. Like she has to survive on her own for a little bit. Basically like leaving the crash and trying to find a way out, being, the tech hacker type thing, but out of her comfort zone. I think that'd be interesting. Then Mia, Dom's sister, goes to investigate the plane crash, but gets ambushed by the new cop guy. I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah.
But, and this is kind of funny, she gets saved because she's about to be executed. She gets saved by Hobbs, the Rock's character, who is disguised as one of the goons, but it's funny because, he's obviously the huge guy.
He's the only one.
Yeah, he's the only.
We're all like, we know.
I get it. Take your mask off.
Real quick, that just reminds me of a joke that in real life, Shaquille O'Neal, he was a sheriff for a moment. But he like tried to disguise himself, like so people don't recognize him. And Kevin Hart had a joke where he was like, "Man, with your dumb ass, we all know it's you. With you're so big."
So big.
And then Shaq would be like, "Can you stop at a stop sign? Can you shoot a free throw, Shaq?" Like we know it's you. But sorry, it just made me think of that.
So yeah, Hobbs saves Mia, and then they go on their little adventure too.
Okay.
And then
okay.
Han and Shaw, because apparently they're alive, they're on their own adventure too. They fail to save Shaw's mother, so she gets killed, right? And then Shaw now wants revenge, so Han and Shaw go after Dante before he gets to the rest of the family, and then everybody eventually, comes back together at the end to really like end it in a satisfying way that I'm sure everybody can agree on, or at least find appealing. The ending, it would have to be like a huge, like, let's say like there's a bomb or something, and everybody, like I'm talking about everybody is in a car driving towards the bomb to like racing, racing in the cars. And then one by one, like the bad guys are taking out each other. And then some of the good guys get taken out. And it all comes down to like Dom and Dante. Like, them two racing. And it looks like the first Fast and Furious. Like that final race between Brian and Dom. Except now it's Dom and the bad guy. So they're racing and they get to train tracks, right? Like the first movie. And then instead of Dom like launching like the first movie, he like hits the brake. And Dante's like, what? And he's not paying attention and gets smacked by the train. And then, the train kills him. He passes. And then Dom saves the day or whatever. I think that'd be good. I think, personally.
Man, it sounds better than what we got with this one.
But, it's not a high bar, right?
Man. No, that's good. But like I said, man, like it's even despite everything though, it's just hard not to be mad at these movies and these characters because, but then also that also makes you like because these characters are special. These characters have been around for years, so you can make a great movie because you already have these characters that we know that we're attached to. They just failed to do that. So I don't know, man. I hope that in the next one, now there's rumors that they're gonna make 2 more.
Oh gosh.
But I think the plan was just to make 1 more. So whatever the plan is, man, I hope that they can really just end with a bang. You know?
Yeah, and with the real bang, marinate. Just marinate. Like even if you have a good script or you think is good, just sit there and look at it.
Yeah.
And be like, what can we like? How can we elevate this? From the draft 1.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest deal that we can benefit from. And yeah, I hope the same thing too. I hope the same thing. But at the same time, it's big dumb fun, and I give it about a 6.5 out of 10. Just for the fun factor, like all the crazy stuff that was happening, I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give it a 6. Yeah, I'll give it a 6. And I'm so used to rating on 5 stars, 1 to 5. So when I was thinking it in those terms, this would be like a 3.
Like a 3?
And to give some context, usually I give 3 to movies that I just enjoy. That they're not a big deal, but also they're not horrible. So, like I believe I gave Air like a 3. Too.
Oh, okay.
And Air was such a better movie, but I think I'm just being graceful because again, it's kind of hard to be mad at the movie, Yeah,
you didn't hate it.
No, I didn't hate it. I also didn't love it.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, a 3 out of 5 and a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But hey, if you love Fast and Furious movies, click the like button and tell us your
Why
favorite.
Why aren't you clicking, huh?
Tell us favorite.
Do it for the family.
Do it for the family.
If you have a family like it.
Right. If you ever had family come back from the dead, give us a like. Actually, you know what? If you like Hobbs and Shaw, give us a like too.
Just remember, all you gotta do is have a little faith.
You just reminded me. There was that scene where we're playing video games, and like Mia and the son, and he was he was like, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. And she's like, oh, where have I heard that before? I'm like, shut the hell up, man. What the hell is this? This is some profound kid.
Oh my god, that's Dwayne Johnson's kid, bro. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Hey, Dwayne Johnson was the milkman that day.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo.
Oh my god! All right, that's a perfect way to end it.
It is.
So thank you for watching this. We'll be back. If you like this video, check out the other videos in the channel. Subscribe, like it, all the YouTube things. Again, thank you for watching. And
thanks for watching.
Yes.
And we'll also be covering the big movies coming up: The Flash.
We got Spider-Verse coming up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, Spider-Verse. We got Transformers, which I forgot about.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm watching that one.
Okay,
we'll see. I'll
watch it for you guys, the fans, the 3 fans that we have.
Yeah, we have Spider-Verse next week for sure. Yeah, it's next week.
And look forward to our Little Mermaid video as well. We're really hyped for that one.
I hope you have fun doing that one.